Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. The updated and expanded second edition of my book, The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments, is now available. Readers can expect to march with Arnie's Army at the 1960 U.S. Open, relive Jack Nicklaus's remarkable 1986 Masters win, and be amazed by the Tiger Slam. The Golf Round I'll Never Forget, Golf's Biggest Stars Recall Their Finest Moments. Pick it up where fine books are sold, including BarnesandNoble.com and Amazon.com.
It's December 4th, and on this day in sports history, Johnny Unitas threw 2 touchdown passes against the Detroit Lions, setting a mark that would stand in the NFL record books for more than 50 years. Now, Johnny Unitas is a football legend, one of the all-time great quarterbacks to ever play the game, yet he was underestimated for much of his younger life. Colleges thought the 6', 145-pound high school Unitas was too small to play in college. The Pittsburgh Steelers drafted him, but didn't think he was smart enough to run a pro offense. When he signed on with the Baltimore Colts in 1956, however, Coach Weeb Eubank saw promise in the now 6 feet 1 inch, 190-pound Unitas and gave him a chance. Unitas led the Colts to NFL championships in 1958 and again in 1959 and was instrumental in Baltimore's win in Super Bowl V. But on this date in 1960, the touchdown passes Unitas threw to Lenny Moore that day marked the 47th consecutive game in which he had thrown at least 1 touchdown pass. The game that day was also spectacular. Moore's second TD of the day was a diving catch in the end zone, giving the Colts the lead with 15 seconds to play. Colts fans were so excited and figuring the game to be over, they rushed the field, mobbing Moore and others. Order was restored, and the Lions came back on the field. Now, with just 4 seconds remaining, Earl Morrall connected with Jim Gibbons, who sprinted the distance to the end zone, shocking the Colts and silencing the crowd at Memorial Stadium. The Lions won 20-15, and that loss deflated the Colts. The following week, Baltimore was on the road at Los Angeles to play the Rams. The Colts played a lackluster game and lost 10-3, snapping Unitas' consecutive games touchdown streak. The 47-game streak would stand alone for 52 years until New Orleans' Drew Brees topped it and bettered it by a few games in 2012. Brees' streak was stopped at 54 games, which is the current record. Unitas' record was more than just a spectacular number, though. He became the league's most popular player during that stretch. He revolutionized the quarterback position, and the streak helped raise fan and media interest in the game to a point to make it sustainable. Also on this day in sports history, in 1961, Floyd Patterson knocked out little-known Tommy McNeely to retain the heavyweight title. Patterson's win was controversial because everybody thought McNeely was a palooka, and that Patterson should have fought a stronger contender like Sonny Liston instead. That's all for today. More tomorrow on This Day in Sports History.
Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, a.k.a. the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.